How are you? Welcome back. Now today we're going to the butterfly farm in Stratford-upon-Avon. Now don't forget to ask your grown-up to help you like and subscribe down below for even more amazing stories. Are you ready to get going? Let's go! Today, we are going to be speaking to a very important person who'll be teaching us lots of things all about butterflies. Now, have you guessed what story we're going to be reading yet? Yes! It's a very hungry caterpillar. Today we have Will, who works at Butterfly Farm, to answer some questions that you might have about butterflies. So Will, could you tell us a little bit more about what you do here?
Sure thing. Yep, my name is Will, or Wildlife Will. I'm one of the entomologists, educational officers and gardeners here at Stratford Butterfly Farm.
Will, how do butterflies get their beautiful colours that we can see?
Well, each butterfly has its own unique colouring and patterns. It's one of the ways that our butterflies can identify each other when it comes to coupling. They also develop their colours sometimes for camouflage and sometimes just for beautiful displays themselves.
Wow. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the sun came up and popped. Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. What do butterflies eat and how do you provide food for them?
Right, so the butterflies themselves, they don't actually eat. Butterflies don't have a mouth part, they have a big long straw-like tongue. It's known as a proboscis, and that's what they use to feed on. So you get two types of butterflies. You get nectar-feeding butterflies who feed on the flowers and nectar from plants, and then you get fruit-feeding butterflies who feed from the citrus and the fruits. Mainly tropical fruits such as oranges, bananas, pineapples. If you look at the fruit table, you will be able to see some of their little proboscises wiping around. But a fun fact, they don't actually taste with their proboscis. Butterflies, they have their taste receptors in their feet.
In their feet?
That's it. So all butterflies have 6 legs. That means they are insects, they're flying insects. Most of the time you'll see that some of the butterflies look like they've only got 4 legs. That's because they've got 2 very special legs tucked up in their thorax, their chest part. And that's what they use to taste with. So when they land on a flower or a fruit or a plant that they lay their eggs on, they give a quick tap with their feet, make sure it's the right food source or plant source for their eggs. And then that's how they actually use their taste receptors, not with their proboscis, with their feet.
On Monday, he ate through 1 apple. Will you count with me? 1. But he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 eggs. 1, 2. But he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums. 1, 2, 3. But he was still hungry. Oh my goodness. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. But he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he was still hungry. Wow. On Saturday, he ate through one piece of chocolate cake, one ice cream cone, one pickle, one slice of Swiss cheese, one slice of salami, a lollipop, one piece of cherry pie, one sausage, one cupcake, and one watermelon. That night, oh, he had a stomachache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through one nice green leaf. And after that, he felt much better. Now, he wasn't hungry anymore. And he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. So today's story will be the very hungry caterpillar. So could you tell us, Will, a little bit more about the life cycle of a butterfly?
Of course, yes. Well, the life cycle is an incredible journey. So all butterflies start off from an egg. So the female butterfly will lay an egg, and she'll lay anywhere between 50 to 100 sometimes. After about 11 days, that egg will hatch, and our baby caterpillar is going to climb out. And just like the hungry caterpillar, he has to eat and eat and eat. Every single time they eat, they get bigger and fatter, and then they do shed their skins, a lot like snakes and reptiles. It's known as an instar, and they'll go through 5 of these instars. Every single time they do, they'll get bigger and fatter. Sometimes they even change colour and get darker. Once they've reached their full size as a caterpillar, they can't eat anymore. That's when they shed their skin for the last time and turn into a chrysalis. Now, I know the hungry caterpillar said a cocoon, but unfortunately, that's not scientifically accurate. It's only moths make a cocoon. Our butterflies, they just create a chrysalis. And they'll remain in that chrysalis state for anywhere between 11 days to 2 weeks, depending on the climate, depending on the surroundings and what have you, or the butterfly itself. And then finally, our brand new butterfly is going to emerge out of that chrysalis, and they'll hang on to that chrysalis for about an hour or so, pumping blood into their wings. Because when they first emerge, they've never used their wings before. It looks a lot like wet, crinkled paper. So they have to pump blood into their wings, get them nice and firm and rigid. Then they'll be ready to take their first ever flight as a butterfly.
Both of these insects have wings, a moth and a butterfly, but how do you tell the difference between them?
So they are incredibly similar insects, but yeah, they've also got small little subtleties how you can tell the difference between the two. Most commonly, moths usually fly at night. And that's why moths are usually darker in coloration, because they don't need that colourful display like the butterflies in order to attract to one another. If you look at their antennas, so when you look at a butterfly's antennae, they're more like drumsticks. You know, they're just long and thin with a little nubbin at the end. Whereas the moths, they've got more of a comb-like antenna. So they'll go up and then they'll spread out, just like a comb, like when you comb your hair. Another way you can tell the difference, moths are usually hairier. When you look at a moth in the evening flying around your light, you'll notice they've got a little bit of fur on them.
He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then pushed his way out and he was a beautiful butterfly. Now, boys and girls, if you want to see lots of amazing butterflies, get yourself here to the butterfly farm in Stratford-upon-Avon, and I'll leave the details for how you can find it down below.
Here is our emerging case. All of these butterflies have been sent to us from around the world, places like Belize in South America, Kenya in Africa, Asia, Thailand, all around the hot tropical climates. Once they emerge as their butterflies, once they've hatched out of their chrysalis, what we do, we open them up, and then using 2 fingers, we grab them by their wings, and this is the safest way to grab a butterfly. And then we can just let them hang up and then finish pumping that blood into their wings, and then when they're ready, they can take their first ever flight. And this lovely guy is an owl butterfly. You can see where he gets his name, but he's actually trying to mimic a lizard. When they go to sleep in the wild, they sleep upside down. So if you could imagine, if I stick my little finger there, you can imagine that's where their little lizard head would be. So that's what they're trying to look like, a lizard, not an owl.
So what can the boys and girls watching do to help protect butterflies and look after their habitats?
There's so much that you can do just at home in your own back garden. One thing that we tell a lot of people to do is actually leave a section of your grass just to go wild. British butterflies, when they pupate or when they lay their eggs, it's usually on grasses. So if you just leave a small section of your garden, just let it grow, just like how people did the no-mow May, you just carry that on throughout the whole year. That's going to allow our butterflies, our British butterflies, to grow, pupate, and fly happy and healthy. Another thing you can do, you can grow butterfly-attracting flowers in your garden, such as buddleias and daisies, and that will help the bee population as well. And yeah, also if you find butterflies in your garden, what you can do, just leave a slice of apple out for them as well. They should go for that too.
I hope you have loved today's story and enjoyed looking round the amazing butterfly farm. Now, don't forget to ask your adults to help you subscribe down below for even more amazing stories. We can't wait to see you next week.